Welcome back to the McKey Lifestyle Podcast. This is your host, Megan McKey. Today I am trying out a video. We're going to see what uploading it to YouTube does, if we get any new viewers kind of thing, which is really silly because I'm usually not in like business attire or anything. I'm just sitting around my house. Currently I'm sitting outside. Just got out the pool, cold plunged. But today's talk might be long, might not. I'm going to try to keep it under 30 minutes, but it is very important. We've been talking about it a ton at the gym, and it is about why women need to stop worrying about the number on the scale. This will be real talk, science backed. I did some research, no shame, no judgment, anything like that, but I just don't know why it has such a hold on everyone. And it sucks because it does on me too. It's just like the way we were raised. I mean, it's literally wired into our brains, I feel like. And then you go to the doctor's office, you step on a scale, and it's just not important because it doesn't tell you anything. So I wanted to talk about the scale. We're going to normalize it without any shaming, no body shaming, all that kind of stuff. I guess we can start with like, how many mornings do you step on the scale? And then your day could be ruined, or your morning could be ruined by what you see, which is like just not important because it's become like an emotional judge, not an actual helpful tool. And that also doesn't tell you, where you're at on your cycle maybe for the month, or what you ate last night, or what you did over the weekend, or how much water retention you have. So the number is just not super important. It's more of like your weight on this earth, literally with gravity, not a health scale. So I don't know. We just need to all kind of take our feet off the scale is what we need to do. Okay. All right. So daily weight fluctuations can be between like 2 to 4 pounds every day. Water retention, sodium intake, hormones, digestion, inflammation, sleep, and stress. I mean, definitely digestion. Think about like if you haven't used the bathroom well, your body's holding on to all of that waste that it literally needs to get rid of. So the scale's going to be up just a little bit higher. And 2 to 4 pounds, whenever you see that on the scale, unfortunately, it does kind of like could upset you, I guess. It shouldn't, but it could. It doesn't distinguish fat, muscle, water weight, anything like that. It doesn't tell you your height, your age, anything. So just that one number doesn't give you enough detail on how you should feel on your health. So we need to all stop letting it, okay? Let's see. So let's talk about cortisol. I tried to make like an outline too so that I wouldn't be all over the place. So cortisol is a stress hormone, and your body creates it. It's released when your body thinks it's under stress or threat. Originally it's meant to be like your survival. If a lion was literally chasing you, your body's going to create this cortisol, and then you get away from the lion. You're not going to have most likely another near-death situation like that for a couple days. But unfortunately, the world that we live in, we are constantly under stress, whether it's, oh my gosh, I've got to get my kid their Mardi Gras float for this weekend, and I have to do my 3 kids' Valentine's parades, and this weekend I have an event, and I have to do this, and I got to make sure I do this, and I've got to eat breakfast, and I've got to do this. It's a constant state. And also, honestly, exercising your body can create cortisol if you're not taking your rest days as you need to be. So that is something to be keep in mind. That can kind of cause swelling. So if you have a high level of cortisol, you could be slightly swollen. That's why sometimes after, we do our challenges and people take like, say, 2 to 3 days off, they're like, oh my gosh, I just shrunk. And it's like, well, you were slightly inflamed for putting your body under stress for an entire month, because working out is stress on your body. It is a good stress. It is stress telling your muscles, especially if you're sore or like inflamed after exercising, that is your body telling that muscle, we need to come back stronger the next time we do this. So we need to grow and get bigger, which is the whole purpose of exercising and why we're doing what we're doing every single day. Hopefully that's why you're doing it, to show up for yourself. Obviously, muscle burns fat. We'll get into all of that, but exercising can create a level of cortisol. Ashwagandha is something that I take for this to kind of help manage stress. Cold plunging, sauning, having days off, family days, being off your phone, off your email, days off, like just off of everything, help with your cortisol levels. A lot of times, lack of sleep, overtraining, under eating, work, kids, mental load, kind of like I said, all those things can be reasons for like higher cortisol. And then what that does, high cortisol levels, they increase your fat storage, which is usually found in the core, which is very unfortunate because that's where nobody wants their fat. We want it in the back, in the booty. It can raise your blood sugar, it can slow your recovery down, and it makes your body hold on to weight and water. So again, reasons to make sure you have the recovery. Try not to live in a high state of stress. Just because that's not how you want to live. Let's see. All right. Sleep. Next topic. After cortisol, something that can also help control your cortisol levels is sleep. And that could also be a huge reason why the scale is moving all of the good things. Sleep regulates your hormones. Okay. So we've got a hunger hormone called ghrelin, and you've got a satiety hormone, which is like being full. That's called leptin. So whenever you don't get enough sleep, your ghrelin goes up, which makes you more hungry because your body feels like it needs more energy. So it's like we need to be eating so that we can process this to use it for energy to like keep ourselves awake, even though that's usually not how it works. And then it's not sending out that I'm full because it wants to get that energy. So you have more cravings, less energy, and it's slower fat loss, which is not cool because we don't want that. And a lot of times, like, so I used to work at a bar. So if I would have to work late till like 2 p.m., but wake up and work the next, no, not 2 a.m., not p.m., but wake up and work the next day at my day job, I would be completely exhausted. And usually my nights, I was never there till 2. It was about like 11 p.m. I was closing her up because nobody was there. But I remember being so hungry, just like I could not eat enough. We were right next to like a shawarma place, and so I would go get like a huge shawarma salad. I would drink a cup of coffee. I would get some kind of snacks. I would just be like eating and eating and eating and eating whenever all my body needed to do was sleep to recover. But it wasn't that I was lacking discipline. It was just that my body needed to rest and I couldn't give it to that because of work. But so remember that. And then something to kind of keep in your head, sleeping doesn't make you lazy. If you have a day off, which is really funny because I say this and I really need to practice what I preach a lot of times. I had a conversation today with someone, a friend of mine, and I was just like, gosh, I'm so exhausted, but like I have to work. I have so many things I need to check off the list. I had to physically prep meals today. And then it was like, it's a beautiful day. Like, I don't want to go lay in my bed. So I was like, I'll just lay out outside. And then I'm laying by the pool and I'm like, might as well cold plunge. And then it was like, I need to do a podcast. So here we are. Never took that nap, Riley, if you watch this. But just reminding yourself that sleeping or resting, like just turning everything off for maybe 30 minutes, giving your brain a mental break, it doesn't make you lazy. Okay. So sometimes people have that in their head, like, nope, I can't rest. It doesn't make you lazy. It's part of recovery. You need it. Aim for 7 to 9-ish hours. We usually go to bed we're in bed by 8 on a weeknight, wake up about 5:30 kind of thing if we don't teach early bird. Try to put your phone down. Try not to have a ton of blue light. There's all those blue light glasses. If you watch TV, wear the glasses. Have a cool, dark room. That's going to help put your body into that deeper state of sleep. Try not to eat too close to bedtime also because that's going to keep your body awake. It's needed to digest things. So you just want everything to be in a state of relaxed sleep. All right. Next topic. Let's reframe food completely. So we're going to stop eating less and we're going to start eating better, which a lot of y'all have heard me talk about with the Padoi. If you didn't listen to the last podcast, I talked all about that and how I am going through a experiment on myself trying to eat a ton of food. Usually we're not eating enough. and our metabolism is super, super low. So you're not burning a lot. And then, or even if you're exercising, you're not eating enough to refuel your body. So your metabolism stays low, because unfortunately our metabolism kind of adapts. So yo-yo dieting, unfortunately, like really screws up our metabolism. And I would guess 80 to 90% of people have yo-yo dieted. At some point you went through a calorie deficit that was a deep calorie deficit because you were like, oh, I'm going to lose weight. And you probably did. But then you gained it back really quickly. And then it was probably harder to lose again the second time. And then that also messes up that hormone, the ghrelin and the leptin that I was talking about also. And then chronic undereating obviously slows your metabolism down. It all adapts, which is just the unfortunate part. Whole foods, focus on whole foods. Obviously, 1 gram of protein per goal body weight, always. Protein is going to support your muscle and metabolism. Fiber is going to help support digestion, your blood sugar, and like healthy fats are going to help with your hormones. That's one thing that's kind of been getting into the conversation lately, which makes me really, really happy, is fats and fiber. Sorry, fats are important also, but fiber. Making sure you have like 20 to 25 grams of fiber a day is pretty important, just so that your digestive system can work regularly. And like I said, it's gonna regulate your blood sugar. Let's see. And then yeah, I guess thinking about like, what are you eating after your workouts? What are you eating first thing in the morning? Do you feel strong, or are you constantly exhausted? You might be hungry. So if you think about all those things, post-workout, you want to eat some type of protein and a carb, usually to refuel, depending on your body. Every single person's body is different. I like to listen to my body. Every single day I probably eat something different. I could eat a sweet potato egg scramble every single day. Absolutely love it. It doesn't matter if it's before workout, after workout, for lunch. I absolutely love it. I could eat sweet potatoes every day. That works for me. Some people don't. I could also eat a breakfast sandwich every single day. I love it. I could do it. Or I could just eat an egg scramble. So like some days I want carbs. I just have gotten very in tune with myself, and that's something that just start noticing whenever you're eating food, how it makes you feel. And then also listening to your body. If you're full, don't push yourself to overeat, like it's such a fine line on like trying to get to your goal of calories and macros and such, and also listening to your body, because your body normally knows what it wants. But a lot of times your brain is also sending out signals saying like, oh, I'm full. And that can also be if you're on some type of medication, or if you've been dieting and your stomach has shrunk. And that's not a bad thing, but focusing on getting at least a gram of protein per goal body weight. Yogurt helps with this, making a protein shake. Obviously you always want to try to get it from real foods and supplement where you have to, but really, really focus on trying to get that. Okay, next let's talk about body composition and why it's more important than body weight. Body composition is your ratio of muscle to fat on your body. Muscle takes up less space. It raises your resting metabolism and improves your posture. It also makes every single day life easier, picking up heavy things, moving our plants inside and outside because Louisiana doesn't know what it wants to do. An example of maybe two people weighing the same weight, one of them having more body fat than the other one. They might like weigh the exact same, but one might exercise, the other one doesn't. They can be completely different shapes. One might be more pear-shaped, one might be more fit, smaller core. Also, because usually whenever we store fat, like I was saying earlier, and with the cortisol, you're more likely to hold it in your core. So I feel like pear kind of, that's where you hold it around your core, your hips. Hips aren't really a bad part, but you don't want it around your organs because that's gonna cause some problems. We'll talk about that. We'll get into that. Okay, some better progress markers maybe for instead of stepping on the scale if you've been exercising. How do your clothes fit? Maybe you get a measuring tape, wrap that baby around you, write it down, do it once a month, or every other week, something like that. Something that will show you where like inches are coming off. But I just can't hone enough on how eating is so important. You have to eat food. If you do not eat food, your body's not going to let go of any food. So you're just going to hold on to everything. So if you are exercising, if you are exerting your muscles, if you are doing any type of cardio, please, please, please eat food. Yeah, use a measuring tape. See how your clothes fit. Look in the mirror. You're going to know if you like the way you look or not. And then who cares about a scale? It's crazy. It's crazy. And then like your energy and mood, how you feel in workouts. Oh, if they're getting easier, well then you're getting stronger, so you're most likely have more muscle. We don't want to chase smaller. You want to become stronger. Okay, and then next up, we've got hormones, age, and real life seasons, because that's like such a blessing in life that we have so many different seasons, which like the fact that I'm even able to sit outside right now and do this podcast, I'm kind of in a slower season and I absolutely love it. But earlier I was kind of thinking like, oh my gosh, like I've never done this. I've never had a day that I can kind of chill and relax. And I mean, I have to teach again this evening and I've got food cooking currently, and it's not that I'm not doing anything. It's just, it's slower for me. And that's good. I like it because I can have more time with my family. I can do more things to try to reach more people, to help more people. Because that's the whole point of McKey Lifestyle is the podcast. It's, the Instagrams. It's us trying to reach more people and help more people and make the world a little bit healthier. Okay, but back to my layout so I don't go too far off. Okay, normalize the changes. Postpartum. That's going to be hard. You're dealing with all kind of hormonal issues and losing weight. That is whenever you just put that scale away, put it in the back of your closet, tell your husband, don't let me touch this, till at least 6-8 months later. I mean, maybe even longer. Perimenopause. That's also another hard time of life. Make sure you're taking creatine if you're there, but you also have a lot of hormonal changes. Sometimes high stress seasons, like for me, end of the year is just insanely crazy busy. I don't give myself enough time to rest. I know this. I'm around a lot of junk. I'm around alcohol. I don't eat as well. I'm still training probably the same, but my body composition is different. My weight honestly might not change, but I can notice my core is a bit thicker from the champagne and the dessert time around 24/7 at Christmas and all the things. And then sometimes just being busy with life. Like you might just be in a busy season and that's okay. You have to give yourself grace. Just try your best and don't step on the scale. Okay. Remember also that your body, it responds to the environment that you give it in, that you give to it. So in the car, maybe the music you're listening to, if you're constantly working like 24/7 around the clock, again, that high stress situation, I feel like it honestly almost always comes down to stress at the end of the day on why your body's holding on to a lot of things. Definitely hormonal, don't get me wrong, and what you are or not eating, there's so many factors in it, but stress is a huge factor that a lot of people don't think about. So kind of bullet point it here now that I'm coming towards the end of my list, and then I have a story. But so make sure you're getting good sleep quality. Make sure you're managing your stress levels. Take some ashwagandha if you need to. That is not something to live on, okay? It can be kind of hard on your liver, but every supplement, everything is hard on your liver. Your liver detoxes your body. But ashwagandha is something you could take like once a week if you need to or something. If you're in a season that like, okay, I'm moving. Like, I think I give this example all the time, but whenever we moved and I had I don't even know what she was, 1-year-old at the time, and I was cooking out of my kitchen and it was a whole cluster and it was a very stressful time of my life, I was eating ashwagandha every single day. I was taking that stuff every single day, and that's fine because I only took it for like 2-3 weeks every single day, and it helped manage my stress. I'm not kidding. So that's something you can cycle it. Take it minimally and then stop taking it for a while. Notice how strong you are. Notice your strength progression. Maybe it's having a journal that you keep in your car and like you write down, this week I used 15 pounds. Oh my gosh, this week I used 20 pounds. Oh my God, look at that. A year ago, whenever I started, I was only using 5 pounds. So monitoring those type of things. noticing your energy throughout the day. Is that getting better? And then your relationship with food too. Like, do you feel like I'm having to force this down my throat? You don't want to eat, or do you feel like I'm just ate a whole meal and I'm still hungry? Like, what is going on? There can be problems. I mean, blood work is always going to help figure out and tell you exactly what you need, but I just kind of wanted this podcast to be like the couple little things that you can start noticing throughout the day that can help tell you. And then if you get down to it and you're like, Megan, I'm sleeping, I'm listening to my body, I'm eating enough, I feel like my energy is pretty decent throughout the day, I don't have to drink a ton of caffeine, my clothes are fitting good, or maybe my clothes aren't fitting good, the scale's going up, like that's whenever you probably need to go get some blood work. If you start noticing you've got more energy, your clothes are fitting differently, you've got energy throughout the day, you like the way you look in the mirror, do I need to really say it? But don't worry about that scale. Don't worry about it at all, okay? If you feel better, move better, and live better, then don't let the scale like completely ruin your day, okay? Which on that, my story. So we were at the gym yesterday, and let's see, the least amount that I've probably weighed in my like adult life was in college, and I was probably like 128 pounds. All right, I'm 5'8", so I'm not short. I was very thin. It was after, I don't know, a breakup or something. I just wasn't healthy. I wasn't eating very much. I was eating those teeny tiny little pre-made salads from Walmart that have like an ounce of chicken in them, 0 protein. But I remember standing on the scale and I was like, oh my gosh, 128 pounds. Like, I felt like I was so happy just because of that number. And I mean, I wasn't like in a dark place of life by any means, but I was having fun. I was in college, but I do remember getting the comments of like, oh, you're going to blow away from family members kind of thing. And, nobody wants to hear that. Like, come on. But then a friend of mine, I remember at the time, she was like, oh yeah, the best little way to get cut off shorts, cute, go to Goodwill and get like some little boy shorts. And y'all, I remember going to the Goodwill and getting little boy shorts. I'm talking, they were like a 12, 14, and they fit me. And I cut them. They were cute. They were high-waisted. But when I turned to the side, my booty was about this. Like, I was so thin. Like, I feel like my hands all the way up or like this size. When I look at pictures now, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was not healthy. But in my head, it's always been like, oh, we got to get, like, that should be a goal for whatever reason. Like, absolutely not. That's insane. I want to be strong now. So anyway, yesterday, I'm at the gym. I'm talking to a client, and if you watch this and listen to this, you know who you are, and we talked about it today. It's nothing bad. It was just, it made me laugh, the conversation we had, though, because she was like, my clothes are fitting so good. I'm down a couple pounds, and I was like, speaking of, yeah, I haven't weighed myself, like, because I never do, but I've been doing pictures and measurements while I'm doing this experiment, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, let me weigh myself real quick, and she walked in there with me, and she was like, oh, can I do it? And I was like, yeah. And so I step on the scale, and and she looks down, and she was like, that's not right, is it? I was like, yeah, that's right. And total transparent moment right now, I weigh 157 pounds, which again, I used to probably would be like embarrassed about, but like, I feel like I've got some muscle now, and I'm happy about it. I don't really care how much I weigh. I like the way I look. I know I'm stronger. I can curl 25-pound dumbbells in each hand. I can do chest press. I can do squats, like, I know that I have a lot more muscle than I did. But it was just so funny because she was like, there's no way that's right. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I've got a lot of muscle. And she was like, oh my God, I know. She was like, you're only muscle. She was like, Megan, she was like, I would have lost that bet. She was like, I would have never guessed that you weighed that much. And I was just like, yeah, like, it wasn't a big deal. And she didn't mean anything like negative by any means, but it was just so funny that like, we are just so driven, whatever the word is, motivated, I guess, even by the freaking scale, and it just sucks. So don't let the scale ruin your day. Stop stepping on it. Start noticing how your clothes fit. And if you're doing all the things and nothing is changing, there could be something wrong. That's whenever, let's talk about blood work. Like, or are you eating enough? Probably not. I was barely eating that. Like, I was probably eating around 2,000-ish calories a day, give or take. And that was not enough for me. So every single person's body is different and needs different things. Just, you've got to give yourself grace. Also, if you're in a stressful time of life, just enjoy your life. God made you the way you are and wants you to love yourself and love your body in every single season. And maybe start today doing something different. If you're like, okay, you know what, you've motivated me, I'm going to start moving my body, I'm going to start walking, I'm going to start doing X, Y, and Z. Doing your on-demand classes, Megan, please do it. It's so fun. It's only $30 a month. You can work out with me, and we have so much fun. But start doing something different. Drink a little bit more water. Get you a big old cup, 40 ounces. That way you only have to fill it up like 3 times a day, or 4, depending on how much you drink out of it. But do hard things. Make your shower the last 30 seconds cold water. That's going to shock your body just a little bit, but just a little bit to exactly what it needs. Remember, health is through habits, not a number on a scale. So hopefully this YouTube video is not terrible quality. I can't really tell. Make sure you comment on this podcast, like it, rate it. I don't know if we even have that available because we're only on Spotify. But until the next time, I hope that y'all stay balanced, take your supplements, and we'll talk soon.